We'll knock everything down. Hey everybody, welcome back to Balancing Divine Feminine Ascension Energy with Aria Jade. And I have with me today Lola. Lola is the astrologer at our shop, which was folk, but it's going to be Appalachian Fruit Work. There we go. About to change the name. And Lola's been with us since October. She is my star child because she has the same birthday as Keaton. So she is an Aquarius, January 31st.
I was going to say Aqua forever.
And she can read your cards. She can tell you anything you want to know about your birth chart, about how you got here, where you're going, and what you're doing, what you should be doing. And she's a terrific energy worker. She has tons of offerings, and I want her to talk about those.
Yeah. So hi guys. Welcome. Yeah, I've got a lot of things going on actually. I do a little bit of everything. Like I was telling you earlier, I like to work with my hands a lot, but then I also like to stay up in the clouds a lot, which I think is a good balance because it allows me when I'm using my hands to come back down to earth. Otherwise, if you're an aqua, you know. But yeah, I've got a lot of things going on at the moment. I just completed my website, which took a little bit of time. Mercury was definitely retrograding and kept like pushing things back and jumbling things all up the way that Mercury does. But we finally got it done. So yeah, we'll be talking a lot about that, I guess, as well. Everything that we have here at the shop that I offer, my main thing is tarot readings. So I've got a couple of different offers. You can come in and do a 30-minute for $60, or you can do a 60-minute for $100. But then I also offer blueprint readings, or birth chart readings. I call them blueprint because essentially that's what it is, right? But I also have blueprint readings that I offer. I also have whatever transits that we're going through at the moment. Crazy enough, Saturn goes retrograde today at about 2:30 Central Standard Time. And so that will be a whole other offer just to give you guys a kind of example. Where is Saturn in your chart? What is he doing? What is he asking you? What lesson is he trying to get you to go back and reanalyze, redo all the reads that come with retrograde? So that's a little bit of an example of like some of the transits. Whatever's happening up there obviously is happening down here that I offer in readings as well. Also sell jewelry, also make jewelry. I like to call them my personal talisman vessels. Because it is a way that I'm an aqua, I'm an air sign. I need something to ground me and something that I can add into my rituals, and something that says, hey girl, come back down and like, let's look at this instead of like going off in la la land, because I can get stuck in la la land sometimes.
We can.
Right?
Yeah.
It's easy. Especially during these times.
Right.
Because there's so much happening.
Crazy energy with the whole basket thing that just happened.
Barbo's basket.
Tell you all about that.
Let's talk about that.
Okay.
These crazy like outer planets. There are generational planets. Jupiter, the expander of the universe, was included in that at 4 degrees of all of these air and fire signs. And I don't know if you guys have heard about prior to like, hey, these upcoming years, they're going to be all about fire and air, all about fire and air. Well, here we are, all the fire, all the air. But so Jupiter was in this kind of configuration with all of these generational planets, and it was at 4 degrees. Well, the rest of them are still at 4 degrees, but Jupiter today I think is at like 6 degrees, so it's kind of moving along and getting right there with the sun. But like the rest of these planets are at 4 degrees, and they're very slow moving planets. So anytime you have a planet that is further away from the sun, it's going to move really slow. And so these generational planets are further away from us, and that allows us to move together with the energy as a collective versus like a personal planet, like where my Mars may be, or where my moon or my Venus. Those are personal planets, and we tend to feel those like on a singular day-to-day like solo energy versus these big outer planets that kind of move really slow. So Barbo's basket was zeroing in on that, all these planets, generational planets, Neptune, Pluto, Uranus, and then Jupiter being at that 4 degrees and being locked.
So with the generational planets coming in, this makes it a good time to work on our generational trauma.
Yes.
And to bring all of this in and through. The degree of 4 is the elements.
Mm-hmm.
So we're looking for the elements to help us make it through some generational trauma. And we're going to be working through that here at the shop and online through Lola's offerings on her website,
Mm-hmm.
and also through ours. So you guys, I'll list all of that in the description. So make sure to read that after you watch the video. All right.
Yeah, I feel like, well, so that was a good way. That was a good segue actually with these elements, because we are these human beings having this spiritual experience, right? Like, and interchangeable spiritual beings having this human experience. And then the quickest, easiest way for us to get access to what's happening up there is through these elements that we use day to day in our lives, that like most of the time we don't even realize that we're using them. And it's just right now, the talking, the breath, right? Communication,
right.
like
there's the air.
There's the air, yeah. Like it's sitting here with each other in the space. We have candles lit, our incense are lit. That's the earth, the grounding. And so we use these elements every part of every day that we experience. It's just taking the time to notice that that's what's happening, right?
Taking
the time,
consciously.
yes, taking the time to vibe with them, like taking the time to let them show you what it is that because they're always speaking to us and through us
and through us,
yeah.
And that's what taking the time. There's those words. Slow down.
Mm-hmm.
Take the time.
Yeah.
The outside world doesn't want you to. Drink that second cup of coffee. Grab that other energy drink. Get a tweaker. Get a this. Gotta go. Gotta go.
Scroll.
Gotta go. Gotta go.
Scroll.
Gotta go. Gotta go. And then guess what has happened? You've forgotten you.
Yeah.
You've forgotten to slow down enough to see the experience and experience
it.
Now you become an NPC.
Yeah. It's they're always around us. Always, like, it's the air and the wind, right? The blowing of the wind, the whistling of the wind that you hear. It's the dew on the grass.
Yes.
It's this like it's always there. It's always there. Even and I say it all the time, like the easiest tool that you can access is the breath. It's it's ours.
Right.
We own it. We own our breath. Like when you really think about that, we own the most powerful thing that can switch our mindset just like that. Just taking a deep breath. The easiest thing.
Yeah. Slows down your nervous system, slows down your heart, slows down all the things.
And so whenever all the things that are happening up there astrologically, I know it can be seem really out there because it is a lot of information and it's a lot always happening, but to make it practical and to bring it back down, there are ways of accessing it, and through the elements, it's like the number one way of accessing it. Just even taking the time to ask yourself, like, how do I use earth? Like, what do I do in my day-to-day that it would be classified under earth? What do I do in my day-to-day that would be classified under air? What do I do fire in my day-to-day that would be classified under fire? What am I feeling? Water, emotions. So yeah, that's a very beautiful, basic, practical way to use the elements to connect you with everything that's going on in the astral world. Because that's all it's asking us to do.
Is just open up and listen.
And listen.
To stop doing and to start relaxing, not falling short of that rest.
Yeah.
So that you can take in what Source has given us here.
Yeah. So that's the easiest way. And then from there we go on like the birth chart readings, right? So from there you can go in and like you start to ask, deeper questions. You start to kind of go below the surface and see what's happening. But a good way to start is just to be present with where you are now and using those elements. And then we can kind of go and like tip tap and see what's happening in the birth chart and what house it's happening for you and where's your sun and where's your moon and all the beautiful things that astrology dives into.
All right, so she can do those things for you, or she can teach you to do those things. She actually teaches classes. Tell us about that.
Oh yeah. So actually right now we're in the midst of week 3. We just completed week 3 of a 6-week program of a tarot class. But interestingly enough, the way that I approached tarot, it was through the elements. And so we are in the elemental gate 2. And so the first elemental gate was basically about sitting with the elements and sitting with the cups as feelings, sitting with the pentacles as grounded earth, being with the swords in our mental as air. And what am I looking at? What am I leaving out? Fire, being with the wands and like the way that we take action as fire. And so that's my approach basically to everything that I teach when it comes to the astrology chart, when it comes to the tarot classes. Every Monday, I host a Moon Day meditations class here at the shop from 7 to 8:15. It depends what the vibe's like and how much we're vibing.
Right.
They tend to go over a little bit. I always try to make sure, because I know time is so valuable. To me, that's cash.
Right.
My time is definitely at the top of my priority list when it comes to any kind of exchange, right? And so I'm always really conscious of that, but sometimes we do go a little bit over. If we're in deep conversation and we're vibing and everybody is,
And
feeling a
during the
little.
meditation, or not during, but after the meditation, she incorporates the cards. You get to pull a card and reflect on the card and talk about it. So you also get to learn a little bit about tiptoeing through the cards.
Tiptoeing through the cards. And so, yeah, basically what the Moon Day meditations are is wherever the moon is that night. So we meet as Monday. I like to call them Moon Days because Monday is ruled by the moon. But wherever the moon is that night, that's the energy we pull from her. That's where we incorporate it into our day to day or into that night, whatever practice that we're doing. We're pulling from the energy of where the moon is that night. And so that is more of our feminine essence. The moon is ruled by the feminine essence. And just recently, we added Sunday mornings, which was for me, I thought, yeah, that was like, what a way to add that masculine essence, because the sun is ruled by the masculine essence. And so it's a way to come and recharge the soul, recharge the vessel, recharge just your whole essence, right? And allow yourself to listen. And that would be the biggest, like where the Moon Day meditations are more, I would say, probably a little bit more chatty, interactive. You think of obviously feminine essence. The Sunday mornings are a little bit more quiet, and so it's just 20 minutes. It's shorter time, 7 to 7:30. Again, we probably after class sit around and like talk a little bit, but that's what community is. At the base of it, that's what it is, the community, right? But the Sunday essence is more of a quiet space, and so we sit still for 20 minutes. And sometimes all it takes is 20 minutes. Sometimes it doesn't even take that long. I would say 20 minutes is a really good marker because it gives you time to sit there and it starts to get uncomfortable and you're like, okay, and then you have to bring yourself back. We're fine, we're safe, we're good. We're just being asked to observe whatever's coming up. That's all that the Sunday morning meditation is. And so, yeah, but that was a nice little addition to add to the feminine Monday.
Yeah.
Because for me, I'm always trying to integrate the feminine and the masculine. Because that's the essence that we all have, within us. And what does that integration look like for all of us? It's all different. And even what do they look like solo? What does the feminine essence, my feminine essence, look like versus my masculine essence? And how are they working together? Are they working like against one another?
Battling? That's what I was thinking when you said that. Are they battling each other right now, or are they in flow with each other? Because a lot of times the battle that we see out here is just a reflection of what it is that we're battling on the inside. So if you're looking around seeing everybody as judging you, as against you, as all of the things, then more than likely what's going on is you got a whole lot of internal stuff that you need to be working on. And that is the mass collective.
Yeah. It is, absolutely. That's exactly how it's, well, that's why it starts with you. It starts with us. And so we are responsible for holding space for ourselves in that way, so
Right.
that we're not giving off the projection of judgment, of of all the things that, like, yeah, that's just
Yeah.
always like just out there floating around, not even realizing that, like, oh shit, that's coming from me. Like, I'm projecting that. Yeah,
on you. That's
I'm
not even
projecting
how
that.
you are. I
Yeah.
get that a good bit at home sometimes. But
Don't we
it's
all?
like, oh yeah, because I'm the one that just loves to scream and act a fool. That was how I was when you met me.
It's me.
You're exactly right.
Oh gosh. But yeah, so with the feminine and the masculine energies, we can find that in your birth chart. That's
Right.
another way that we can look at it if you're unsure of what that energy is, as far as like the naming it. Because more times than not, when we take time out to listen to it, we know what the feeling is, right?
Right.
Like we get, even if we can't like articulate it, we can kind of like feel what it feels like. Astrology and the blueprint just gives us a way to go, oh, and put more words to it, so that we can recognize it and go, yeah, that is what it is that feels like.
Right.
And it's like, oh, well, it's example. I was telling you earlier about my masculine and feminine, which is ruled by Mars and Venus. So Mars is the masculine in the birth chart, and Venus is the feminine. And mine are both in the same sign. And the way that they move through this sign is completely different, but still the same, if that makes sense. And so there's this reminder. I'm always reminded that they need one another. Regardless, they the feminine needs the masculine and vice versa. But particularly for me, because they're in the same sign, like they are really coexisting, with one another, and they need one another in that way. But it's just a beautiful reminder that of being able to see that in my birth chart and go, oh, that makes too much sense. It's like, that's why that's like that. But it's another beautiful way of like being able to bring it to life, right? And so that you can bring it into practice, so that you can make it a ritual and incorporate it in your day-to-day life and see how the magic unfolds, because every single time it will unfold.
Right.
Yeah.
Definitely so. So now tell us about Moonroof and your merchandise.
Ooh, Moonroof Moon. So actually, Moonroof is the merging of the feminine and the masculine. It's a inner work that I've been doing for quite a while of merging the two. And so Moonroof is the overarching name and feeling and idea. But it comes from a car, they're called a moonroof. Yeah. And so when you're in, and then they also have a sunroof, and they're different. The moonroof just goes back, the sunroof lifts up. Yeah.
Like,
I was just kidding.
And so not open.
Yeah, at all. And so that's where that idea came from everything that was happening within me, of that masculine sun and that feminine moon. And so it's this idea of the merging together is the aperture, and the way that it opens. You think about the aperture of a camera. Right. And the way that it closes and then it opens, and it allows you to take these snapshots and see these views of what's above you. So that's the feeling, the motivation behind the name. As far as the offering, there's so much offering on there. I've got it like split into more masculine offerings that's umbrellaed under sunroof, and then the feminine offerings are umbrellaed under moonroof, and then the integration of both are umbrellaed under aperture. And so these are a couple of things as far as the physical, which masculine is a very physical thing. Whenever we bring something into manifestation, it's in this physical world. Right. And that's a masculine energy. And offerings are some of these little vessels and talismans that I swear by and that have become a part of so much of my life, just from the healing from safety, from support in ways that my masculine was able to offer that to my feminine essence. And yeah, I'm trying to think of something else to say about it.
Can you show us the little, what's in the boxes?
These are little astro boxes. And this is Gemini. And it's